Hi, my name is Dan Lovell. I'm here today on Otter Creek, and we're going to try to catch some carp. I use a mixture of plain panko, strawberry Jell-O, and corn. I mix this up into a consistency of about a soft dough. This is still too crumbly. We want to get this to a consistency where we can pack it and it holds its shape without falling apart too quickly. Make sure we pull up those dry crumbs from the bottom to make sure they all mix in well. Now that's a lot better. Now when I press on it lightly, it doesn't fall apart. I've picked up some bait feeder reels. These are great tools for catching carp because they allow the carp to take line and the reel will free spool while the fish is biting. And then when you pick the rod up and start to reel it in, it trips that bait feeder release, and then it allows you to fight the fish. While this is a great system and technique, you can still use just a standard spinning reel or standard equipment to catch these fish. I use these method feeder rigs, which allow us to take this bait and we actually pack the bait onto the weight instead of onto the hook. We'll then thread on a few kernels of corn onto the hook and cast that out. These method feeder rigs come in a couple different varieties, and you can get anywhere from 5 to 10 of them for $10 to $20, but they work really well. We've got the feeder rig and we've got our corn on the hook. We can now take this and cast it out. In addition to that, if we're not using these feeder rigs, we can use any kind of slip weight that allows the weight to stay on the bottom and the fish to pull the line through it, and just use, a gob of corn. So we can just take and put corn on the hook to catch carp as well. No. We caught a few carp today, nothing massive, but it was enough to stay entertained, and it's a great way to bring kids out fishing and introduce them to some larger species than just sunfish. They're pretty easy to catch as long as you use some basic baits like corn. I mean, you can catch them on worms as well, but you'll be fighting with some of the other fish that like to eat worms. You can even use bread, balled up bread squeezed onto a hook, as well as hot dogs and other salty or sweet foods that we eat. You can find carp pretty much anywhere on lower tributaries of Lake Champlain, as well as Lake Champlain and some sections of the Connecticut River.